What's up, Life in 360 fam? This is Ben here, and today I thought I'd compare two of my favorite and two of the most popular 360 cameras of 2018 to figure out which one is right for you. Look, there's no question these are two amazing cameras, and if you haven't seen my individual reviews of both of these cameras, do check them out. I also made a 7-camera comparison that features both of these cameras, and spoiler alert, they came first and second respectively. Fusion came first, MiSphere came second. However, they're at very different price brackets, so I want to use this video as an opportunity to compare the two and figure out whether it really is worth paying a lot more for the Fusion, or whether you should save yourself $500 and stick with the MiSphere. Throughout this video, I'm going to show you guys a whole bunch of side-by-side comparisons of both cameras. However, this video is not about the look. I'll let you come to your own conclusions, and I've already given 1,000,001 thoughts about that, so I want to discuss some finer points that may be the make or break decisions of your next 360 camera purchase. I'll start with video resolution, and the first question you need to ask yourself is, do I need 5.2K or is 4K okay? Most 360 videos are viewed at 4K or less, so you need to think about where you'll be posting your videos, because if it's only social media, this isn't going to be a massive difference. Looking at this window here, the Fusion was shot at 5.2K, MiSphere was shot at 4K, and they're looking really similar. So if you're shooting just for social media, this difference is not big enough to pay so much more. For photos, again, they're looking identical. These are two of the best 360 cameras for photo, and while the Fusion has the better look straight out of the camera, after color correction, they become really similar. In high contrast shooting situations, however, the Fusion does win. It has better dynamic range, so you need to ask yourself, where do I shoot the most? Is it outside, is it inside, or is it in mixed lighting? If you're someone that's a little from column A, little from column B, little from column C, then the Fusion will probably have your back a little more than the MiSphere, but not that much more. The MiSphere has bracketing HDR now, so if you're someone that's comfortable with that computer workflow of dealing with HDR photos, then the MiSphere actually has that advantage over the Fusion. The Fusion shoots RAW, but like I mentioned in my review, you can't stitch it in free software just yet. You need paid software like Mystica VR if you want to take advantage of those RAW files. The MiSphere, however, also has RAW, and you can do it for free. There's now stitching software you can use to stitch the two circular fisheyes together and end up with a nice looking DNG file that you can then color correct. For the color correction stage of the workflow, no question the MiSphere is going to be easier, purely because you can download the equirectangular files to your phone, whereas you just can't do that within the GoPro app. While the result may be better from the Fusion, there's a lot more steps in the workflow to get your files color corrected. And if you're someone that values a speedy workflow of shooting, downloading, color correcting, and then uploading to social media, then the Fusion is going to be too many steps for you. Yes, you'll get better dynamic range, especially in the highlights. However, you'll need to go to your computer to color correct your work. This brings me to workflow, and I think you can well imagine what I'm going to say here. The MiSphere wins by a country mile, purely because the video resolution is smaller, therefore it processes a lot quicker, and it's something that's actually workable on both mobile and computer in, say, under an hour. Whereas with Fusion, it takes hours minimum to process your footage, and you can only do that on computer. You will need a super fast computer to deal with Fusion files. I had to upgrade my iMac to 64GB of RAM and 8GB graphics card, and now, to be honest, it actually processes my Fusion footage lightning fast, way faster than that and faster than most other people are experiencing. I urge you not to buy the Fusion if you have a slow computer with less than 16GB of RAM, because you'll probably put a fist through your monitor at some point, and you'll most definitely send the Fusion back saying it doesn't work, whereas really the problem was the computer was too slow. So this is something you need to consider. It doesn't matter which camera you use, but the higher res you go, the faster a computer you will need. This isn't a problem with the Fusion, this is a problem with high resolution in general. You need to be realistic. You're not going to be able to process 5.2K with only 4GB of RAM and a 1GB graphics card. That's not going to happen in any universe. The MiSphere, however, can be used with most smartphones and most computers. 8GB of RAM is fine, even 4 would just do it. So if you admit that your computer isn't really that fast, then the MiSphere will be a much more workable solution. I know it sounds like I'm bagging on the Fusion, but it's actually an awesome camera. You just need patience for a longer workflow. And if you can get through that, you'll end up with an excellent photo result and a vastly superior video result. Before I said resolution doesn't matter because most people watch it HD HD or 4K anyway. However, where it does matter is with reframing. With the GoPro Fusion, the reframed footage looks legitimately like high definition HD 1080p when you reframe in any given direction. With the Mi Sphere, however, it looks more like 720p. So if you're someone that reframes a lot, the Fusion will give you much better resolution and it'll look a lot more like the quality people are used to. There's no question the Fusion has the best look when reframed of all the 360 cameras purely because of that resolution and that amazing dynamic range. The Mi Sphere reframes just fine, however you do need to keep the field of view pretty wide to avoid it looking soft and blurry. For tiny planet photos and videos, it does an excellent job. However, keyframing between close-up viewpoints, you'll need to be careful. So in conclusion, I'd say the Mi Sphere will have your back in the vast majority of situations, especially if your target is social media. Where you want to consider the Fusion is if you're doing professional work where you're earning money or you're displaying your work reframed or on bigger screens where resolution does matter. So say if you were a wedding videographer and you offered your clients a 360 video that was shot with the Fusion and you reframed it or you kept it as a 360 video, I think you could totally justify a decent price point for it. So if you're someone that offers video production services and you want to branch out into 360, I think no question the Fusion is the way to go. If budget's an issue for you, however, the Mi Sphere will still do a really good job. You might want to consider buying the Mi Sphere now and waiting 6 months, use the Mi Sphere and see what else comes out. Maybe there'll be a Fusion 2, maybe there'll be some other amazing camera that comes out that might be affordable to you at a later date. But if you just want something to start with now that's going to be really good at both photo and video and is affordable, then the Mi Sphere is a great way to go. No question it's the best bang for your buck of all the 360 cameras. In my GoPro Fusion review, I said that the Fusion is twice as good of a camera as the Mi Sphere at 3.5 times the price. And after considering all these other things, I'd say that's about accurate. If you're someone that values having twice as good of a 360 video camera, then it's totally worth it if you're shooting projects that go beyond your own personal social media. I'll put links in the description to where you can find both of these cameras for the best price possible. No matter which one you choose, you'll have made a good decision because these are two of the best cameras of 2018. You can't go wrong. It's just a matter of how professional you want your content to look. So yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for more awesome 360 videos, side-by-side comparisons, reviews, and all that good stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. Check out the Life in 360 Facebook page. Also, leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the Mi Sphere versus Fusion debate? I'd be curious to know which of these two will you be going with and why. Until next time, be sure to capture your world in 360. This has been Ben, and I will see you in the next video.